Should you carry with a round in the chamber, C or no? I am a former CI officer. I'm going to tell you what I did with the agency and what I still do in my personal life. And this is a heated topic for whatever reason. And I'm going to settle it once and for all and tell you what you really ought to do if you value your safety and survival and don't want to be murdered when somebody invades your house. Okay, so should you carry with a round in the chamber? Yes or no? Well, let's talk about the pros and cons. Okay, right now on my hip, this bad boy right here, I'll draw it out. This is a Walther Creed. Walther Creed, I like the gun, good trigger. It was very inexpensive. They discontinued them because I guess I'm the only one on earth who purchased them, but I like the Walther Creed. So let's say, first let's put on my hearing protection. Let's say I have a home invasion. Okay, on me or on my nightstand, I have a safe, a rapid access safe. I have a flashlight. So I open my rapid access safe, grab my gun. I can go deal with the intruder. I can go to the top of my stairs or whatever. So I've got a home invasion. My alarm goes off in the middle of the night. I grab my gun. I go to the top of my stairs. All of a sudden, the boogeyman starts coming up my stairs. I've got my round in the chamber. This guy's threatening me. He says he's gonna kill my wife and kids. I draw my gun. What do I do? Boom, boom. Okay? I don't have to do anything. My gun is always fully loaded for home defense. For here, I only put 2 rounds in this one for demo purposes. So that's how it works if you have a round in your chamber. Now, let's say I do not want to have a loaded firearm. Let's say I am going to load the gun right now, just leave the magazine in there. I still have the 2 rounds I put in, but there's nothing in the chamber, okay? So same scenario. My alarm goes off. I grab my gun. I grab my flashlight. I get the major adrenaline dump. I run to the top of my stairs. I've got my gun. I see a guy coming up my stairs. He says he's gonna murder my family. Click, click, click. Nothing's happening. Why is nothing happening? Oh yeah, I have to rack the gun. Then I have to come out and go boom, boom, and then deal with him. So many years ago, I trained somebody. There was a gentleman came out to me. Right now we're out at Spy Ranch, our 320 acres. Came out to me for some firearms training, and he said, "Hey Jason, I need you to teach me on guns. I'm buying a gun for home defense, but I promise my wife I will not have a loaded gun." You know what I told him? I said, I think that is a very, 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 very bad idea. You should always have a loaded gun. Why? Because in a traumatic situation, in a situation where you have the adrenaline dump in the caveman mode, you're not gonna remember to chamber around. He says, no, Jason, I will. I'll practice. So what happened? Well, about 6 months after I trained this gentleman, I get a call from him. I talked to him. What happened was one night, somebody starts pounding on his front door. He thinks they're gonna kick it in. So what does he do? He grabs his gun. He goes to the front door. He sits there, he says, get out, don't come out of my house, I've got a gun. Whatever he was really screaming, right? But screaming like, get away, I've got a gun. He said for about 20 seconds, this guy's just trying to bash in his front door. His adrenaline's dumping. After about 20 seconds, it stops. His wife is called police. They eventually find out there was some crackhead in the neighborhood going around from house to house trying to kick in the door. So thankfully, this guy and everybody in the neighborhood was unharmed. The guy didn't break down indoors. But he told me, Jason, as I was screaming there and yelling at the guy, after everything was done, my adrenaline stopped a little bit. I wasn't freaking out as much. I realized I never chambered around. He was pointing an empty gun at the front door. Because guess what? That's what happens. The Israelis, I've trained with the Israelis a lot. Amazing, wonderful soldiers, wonderful military, wonderful intelligence operatives. But they train all the time. So they train every time they draw. They're chambering around. Obviously, I have my empty magazine in there, so it's gonna stick back. But they train like crazy. The average civilian, the average American is not gonna train as much as an intelligence operative or special forces. So me personally, I always have a loaded gun. We know that attacks happen fast, so I carry concealed every single day. If I'm at a gas station and somebody's upon me, I don't wanna have to chamber my round before I can fire my gun. I wanna be able to draw and fire instantly because that split second could be the difference. Same thing for home defense. As soon as I open my safe, maybe somebody busts into my master bedroom and they're that fast. Well, I want to be able to rock and roll and stop that threat. So I never ever recommend not having a round in the chamber. The only people who say this are people who A, don't understand guns, or B, are who are brand new to guns and aren't comfortable, which means you just need to train more. You need to spend more time in the range. You obviously need to understand the 4 firearms safety rules and always have your finger off the trigger until you're on target and ready to shoot. But again, never in a million years. I've got 7 kids, a wife. Never would I recommend to any of them. My kids are young, but once they get older and they're having guns and all that, I would never recommend not having a loaded gun because heaven forbid that criminal, that crackhead kicks in that guy's door that one night, he sits there and goes click and that guy's on top of him and murders him because he didn't have a loaded gun. So I don't know if I can be any more straightforward than that. Don't ever not have a round in the chamber. I guess I can think only thing is unless you're a place where you can't have a round in the chamber. But again, California, you're not carrying concealed anywhere. everywhere. Anyways, so have a loaded gun. Okay, I'm former CI officer Jason Hanson. I love guns, go shooting, and if you want to know one of the best resources on guns and privacy, go to spieshideguns.com. Again, S-P-I-E-S, spieshideguns.com. You'll learn intelligence operative secrets, and you'll be able to protect your privacy. Okay, I'm out. I'm gonna go shooting. For real. Adios.